Okay, so this week we've got the Ghost Town for our weekly challenge. Let's see what's in store. Barbecue, okay, good one. Let's just change this. My daily challenge is to kill stuff with shooters. Thank you, yep. Aside from that, this is still my farming team. Maggie for the extra XP, Glenn so that I can get some XP supplies, sorry. This is what I usually run when it's a fairly easy run through. So we're starting off with BBQ. This one's fairly straightforward. Just a big old bunch of tanks waiting to be taken out. What can you say? There's not much to this. This is not a challenging mission. At high levels, hopefully you've got some strategies for dealing with these big guys. All of the hits still work here. Weapons that reduce mobility, that cripple or root, whatever you got that can slow them down. You need to be able to hit hard. Scouts obviously cause a lot of damage. So do shooters, and you don't really need to worry about crowd control on this particular mission. It's not like you've got hordes of standard walkers that you've got to face off against and manage. Oh, who's the weekly? It's the governor. Yeah, okay, fine. I don't have the governor leveled up, so let's continue with this. Okay, yeah, so again, for barbecue, characters that are good at causing individual damage. You don't need to worry about big crowds. You don't need to worry about noise. Incendiary is great. Anything that cripples movement should definitely be on the list. Yumiko's great leader. Sasha, SWAT, clear the area. Now this one's a little trickier. So you see what happens here. Glenn is a good one to bring. We do have a threat counter, so you might want to bring something that either removes threats or weapons that don't make noise. Definitely have you guys charged up before you open that very ominous looking SWAT truck, because there is a surprise inside. Let's just do a kill there just so that McGaggy is fully charged. I recommend bringing Glenn. And again, like barbecue, you're going to need to have some tools in the box that are good for taking out strong armored types. They are in a bunch, so that's worth bearing in mind. Things like... get your charge points saved up. Obviously, I forgot to use one there with Maggie. That was a mistake. Glenn to open those doors. I think it's very difficult to go wrong with him because, of course, he still gets to act after he has done that. And he's a scout, so he hits very hard. You might want to think about something that can affect, areas. So things like the ornate shotgun obviously can cripple up to 3 walkers at a time. Well, that's not a bad idea, because then you've got more time to deal with those walkers, those armored walkers, if it's on a higher difficulty setting and they are just not cracking. You want as many turns as you can to deal with them. Incendiary weapons, maybe. Their armor ain't going to help against that. Parking lot, find the loot and get out. Okay, probably another good one with Glenn. I'm just enjoying using this this festive shotgun a bit more frequently. It's not necessarily the best weapon, that's for sure. Starbound rifle, much better. Yeah, harpoon gun, that's better. But hey, I'm kind of enjoying using the festive shotgun at the moment. So we can see, obviously, that there is... That cookie looks like it's flaming. Look at that. Top left. Flaming cookie. We've got a couple of these have got red... Aha, well, we don't get to see it. The brown truck and that white... Sorry, the brown van and that white van both had red flashing trunks. That means there's a surprise inside. Something was going to jump out. Probably worth noting, actually, that they are also bigger vehicles than the cars. I never noticed that before. But when you're doing this mission, when you open those, something is going to jump out and attack you. So do that at the start of your turn, when people still have movement left. To start off with, there's quite a lot of just standard walkers. They're close. Don't tend to be too scary, but they start off close and they could get you right away. So be prepared to take out a fair number of normal walkers right from the off. One turn and they're going to be on you. Maybe bruisers would be a good idea. I think this week non-hero characters start off charged. And starting off with some charge points can be a very important thing if you're struggling. Get to the end of the street. Okay, let's swap that out for the moment. Things probably just going to get a little smidgen tougher. Okay, so we've got some tanks. Let's get rid of you. Let's get rid of you. Threat counter, as soon as we start opening this gate, we're going to get bad guys on us. Yes, I'm making noise because this isn't too high a difficulty. Definitely the Starbound rifle, if you've got it, good weapon to take on this. I mean, you can see that it's, you know, we're getting our money's worth out of it because of that infinite range. So we can easily shoot at those tanks through the fence. Doesn't matter how far away they are. Obviously, yes, you may not have it. But hopefully you've got some things like high-powered pistols. Always a good thing to have in your back pocket because they have extended range. And you've got to have a little something that's going to be able to deal with those walkers that appear behind you as you start opening the gate. You've got a threat counter as well. You don't want to be adding to that, especially at higher levels when it's tough to kill even normal walkers. On a plus point, this isn't a bad one to farm on. Got those walkers just sort of appearing fairly regularly, but not too many of them. Yeah, you're going to want to decide whether you want to deal with those tanks through the fence, maybe. Because as soon as you start fiddling around with the fence, then walkers appear behind you and can get you. You know, or you might want to get that thing opened as soon as possible and just try and rush to the end. That's probably not the better choice, in my opinion, but there you go. If you have Yumiko and she's opening the gate, she will shoot whatever you shoot at. Her leadership trait will still activate. That's always nice to know. See if there's any supplies in the area. Well, I hope there are. So we're risking our necks. Oh yeah, this one. I don't get the theme. I don't know why this is called Ghost Town. I mean, most towns are ghost towns in the apocalypse, right? It's not like there's heavily populated centers of commerce and trade or anything, but I don't know. Okay, so Glenn, good choice for this one because he gets to do that, basically. We have a red car trunk. So let's open that first. 2 normal walkers pop out. Just a chance for us to reduce the threat if we have the sawtooth blade. If you don't, then just a chance to take out some baddies nice and silently. You know exactly where they're going to appear. You know exactly what they are. So they're laying in wait for you. Doesn't mean that you can't just lay in wait for them as well. Move up. Definitely having a scout or shooter. Good idea. You can move around that map so much quicker. But again, having Glenn lets you do things like this. So, obviously, even a charged attack at much higher levels isn't necessarily going to just one-shot kill something like a tank. Maybe if you've got, if you play it right and you've got Carol's cookie unlocked by now, that'll give you a big boost against these big beasties. Worth considering. Okay, so what's the last one? See if there's anything worth grabbing in the area. Alright, Daryl. Why is Daryl always giving us the orders, damn it? Okay, so yeah, this one can be a little bit tricky. I like doing this, what we're doing here, taking out the bad guys from a bit of a distance. Thought Glenn would be able to move farther than that, but I guess not. Okay, we've got a red glowing car trunk. That means some bad guys are going to pop out of there. Yeah, I need to kill you because you're in range of Unico. So, start of the turn again to make sure that you actually have some movement points. Make sure that you can get some coverage either side of the boot once you open it, or trunk if you're American. There's a threat counter, got to be careful of that. That tank can hide behind that big old, that car that's right there. There's hidey spots. It's a good map. It's an interesting map. Throws up a couple of things at you. You've got to be able to deal with all sorts. Reinforcements coming from the threat. Walkers that can take damage. There's a fair few ordinary walkers, that could gang up on you. There's some that are distance, but then they also start pretty close by as well. So you've got to be able to deal with everything. Bring your favorite guys. If you are struggling, remember it's non-heroes who start charged. That can make all the difference. And if you're still struggling, just try some combos. If you don't normally use bruisers or warriors, give them a go. See if there's a hero that has hidden depth that you weren't aware of. But in any case, this isn't a mega. This is a weird mix of some missions that can be very challenging when you get to the higher difficulties, and some which are just almost a literal turkey shoot, barbecue being one of them. Hopefully, you'll do very, very well. But if you have any particular struggles, please do let me know. And as ever, thank you for watching.